Hello, it is Monday, February 6th, 2023. We are going to go over these futures markets for the beginning of this week. So starting out here, S&P 500. One of the things that we were looking for was to see if we got for the lows for a day, which it did. You can see here on Friday that's where it closed, and it opened up Sunday night, and here we have going into today, and hit the target area for the low side in between the 1.146 Fibonacci extension level to the 1.414 Fibonacci extension level. Now, as it is using the previous day's highs and lows, so we hit that level, and as you can see, the 4.14 area has been the support for the day, and so price has been bouncing that off of that ever since. And looks like with another about hour left for any major trading, there could be a potential move up to break it up there for the market. But that's basically the only thing that went on today with the sell-off overnight session. And then when the market opened up today, they're about 8:30 right here. We had another sell-off, and then it found again support where it found an overnight session right up the out of the 1.414 extension level, and just been using that ever since. But it's pretty much been in range, as you can see, most of the day. So we'll see what's going to happen going over into tomorrow. But that will be lead for, as you can see, there's the third down day in the row for the S&P 500 market. So the trend is definitely going here to the downside. But if it stays within this range between the blue line and the red line right here, then tomorrow what we'd be looking for is for the high side target at least 4148.50 and the low side target 4098.25. Going over to the MFI chart, it is still coming off being overbought over here, and it looks like it's getting another step closer down here, getting into the oversold territory. But still, it's in the middle of no man's land for it. As you can see from all the way about right there, it's been nothing but a complete run up here in that market. So that's kind of like the channel right there. In fact, let me take off, go back over here, parallel channel, there we go. So if you take it from there to about right there, so you can see we're just kind of in the middle of this channel from where it is. So if it continues like what it has been doing, up, down, up, down, up, continues to the downside, target would be looking at if this channel holds will be around the at least the 4100s in between 4050s and 4100s for right there for the S&P 500. Going over for the Russell 2000, we'll start with the overbought oversold indicator. Still coming off being overbought and starting to get closer down to the oversold, but it is in the middle of no man's land. And the chart is very similar to the S&P 500. You can see it's an indefinite uptrend within a channel. Going over to the 5-minute chart, from what happened from today, the Russell 2000 actually has been the one market today that has actually sold off the most compared to everything else. So it did hit the low target here in the overnight session at 3:40 a.m. Central Standard Time. Then we had the market open right here. And it looked like it's going to get a pop up on this candle, but all of that was not to be. All it was a move down here lower to the low side. And so I found a little bit of support going into the target zone, but then that was quickly erased, moved on down past it, and now it's been slowly working down past it ever since. So today for the Russell 2000, this is not a blowout day, meaning the target zone has just been destroyed, but it's definitely going lower than it in less than the last 55 minutes or so. We get some type of recovery to move it up over, up above it in this area. So this definitely be a excuse me, good sized down day move here for the Russell 2000. And then going into tomorrow, if this holds for the range between now and closing time, the low target we look for is 1953.2, and with price currently at 1961.8, wouldn't take a whole lot to get down there and hit the lower target. Then if it is going to reverse for tomorrow and going up to the upside, the target we look up here is for 1995.8. Here in the Dow Jones, this one has had a pretty nice recovery from today compared to the SP 500 and especially the Russell. You can see just like those other two markets, when the opening session happened, came down, hit the target area, and then when the market opened right there, right here, had a nice green candle, then it sold off, but unlike the Russell 2000, it rebounded off there and continued higher. So it's made up for any losses it had early this morning. It was actually in the slightly positive territory here earlier, but has recently gone back down past it. But for not that big of a loss, it's only like almost 0.2% for today, so no big deal at all. And so tomorrow, what we would be looking for is going high to low. The high side target we're looking for 34,056. Low side target 33,639, assuming this high and low hold for the next, well, I guess there is another hour after 3 p.m., but there's not usually a whole lot that goes on for it. So that's what we're looking for. You can see this market for the Dow Jones has been in pretty big range for the past couple weeks. If we just have it going like that and then like that, you can see it's pretty much it's broken out here a little bit, but it's used this level down here as kind of support every time it bounced off of it. It's gone up. Anytime it's come up closer to up here or it's even hit it, it's bounced off. So right now it's coming off the lows, so we would expect it to continue to move on higher until it gets to the upper range, until the market finally decides what it wants to do, if it wants to go in an uptrend or go back down here to a downtrend. Because unlike the S&P 500 and the, let's see, there's that one, S&P definitely an uptrend. The Russell 2000 had been in an uptrend. If we take there to about there and there, we probably had overshooted the channel. Now it's just coming back down into it. But the Russell 2000 is really the only one where we haven't had that. It's not an uptrend. It's been in sideways motion. Now going into oil, oil's had has been the real winner of today as far as the most movement, because as I mentioned on Friday, using this trade setup off the 1 minute chart right here, there's yellow, and then a yellow and red semaphore we're looking for. I did put the green ones on there because I did start looking at potentially taking trades using like a green and a red or a green and a yellow for it, but still not sure if I'm going to. But when price came down and hit the 6.85 interest pitchfork level, that was the initial trade. Second one would have been in down here at the 0.89 level right there. And once it hits that, then you'd move the target to the 50% line, which one was it? That one right there. You move it to that one. So that is that for that target. And then price continue just move on sideways. We'll go to 5 minute charts, it's a little bit easier to see. Sideways. Then we had a big move down right here, took it to a new low, and look what happens right here. Lo and behold, going from Friday's high and low, look at that. There was, let's take this off of there. The target we're looking for is 72.38 down here for the low target for the day, and price came down and the low was exactly at 72.26. So once it hits the low target, found ton support and started bouncing off here into the middle of it. So for this trade, the exit we're looking for this one to be over is going to be the 50% line over here, 75.05. So when it gets to around $75, we'll call that good enough for that to be done. And we'll see if price can take out this previous high earlier today at 7:40 a.m. It's pushing up against there, but as you can see, that's being resistance level where it was previously. We'll see if at the end of the day can push on through and hit that $75 mark. If not, then we'll definitely would be looking for that to go get hit. If not in the overnight session, then in tomorrow's session, and then see what happens going in towards tomorrow. Using today's high-low, that would also complete the target as well, because if this high remains in place right here, then the target upside we're looking for is $74.72 tomorrow. And the target downside, if we have a down day, would be $71.95 for that. But the major trade that I'm looking for right here is, actually it'd be this one right here, sorry. Yeah, 75.05 for it. And so that would, if this high holds right here, it would definitely go up in there and hit that. But there is, potential between now and the end of the trading session for price to continue to float on up and get a little bit closer to it. So definitely look for a little bit more positive run here for this movement in the crude oil market. to the 4-hour chart, middle of nowhere. It really can't tell us anything about it. That's just all the different days for it. But yeah, it has been in a downtrend, as you can see, using right here to right there, and then right about there. So it's coming off the downward slope, and see if it's going to continue to move up to this channel, up into the 75 50s area, which is where also the target would be for that one. Going into the old Nasdaq, just like S&P 500, Russell 2000, Nasdaq has been in a very nice uptrend. You can see from the channel right here, and it has overshot that trend. Channel line is now coming back into it. So a lot of times what happens as well, when price does overshoot a trend channel, I don't use them too often. It's just more of like a reference. But when you see that this has been a pretty solid line area for the tops of this trend channel, we see price really break out higher than it. A lot of times what it does, it will come down and break out the opposite side almost the same amount. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get more of a sell-off into the market, and it comes down even more somewhere like that before it decides what it wants to do. Wants to continue back into this channel, move back up into it, or go sideways, or continue to move down. But I wouldn't be surprised to see more sell-off in the Nasdaq and to come down and break that trend channel below, since it broke it to the high side right there. Going to the 5-minute chart, not a whole lot going on here in the Nasdaq, but pretty much like every other market we've seen today, the low target has been hit. So they're hit in between the 1.146 and the 1.44 level. Found a lot of support within it. Now it's just been ranging back and forth with it, so not a whole lot going on there. If the highs and lows currently hold for the day, then the upside target tomorrow we're looking for is 12,631, and the downside target we're looking for is 12,434.50. But there really weren't too many good trade steps that I like to take, because whether it's using well, not scalping trade, but whether I'm looking for it hitting the, let's see here, where is it? Yeah, I look for it. Golly, doing it the freaking wrong way. Okay, still the wrong way. Let's see about this one. You know what? I must not have it correctly set up. Huh. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I look for it in these moves to hit the 3.618 level at least first before I get into it. So let me show you something here real quick for what that would look like over here. In fact, let me just go, because I know I was looking at Tesla stock the other day. Show you what that would look like. So as you can see, using this setup, going from the yellow to yellow semaphore, and again, all semaphores are pivot point, turning point indicators, and to have a red, you have to have a yellow one in there. So using that red to yellow right here, the earliest I'd get in a trade is the 3.618. But one thing you do look for is, or did this one already come up and hit it? Yeah, that one already came and hit. So anyways, so what you look for is, if this hadn't gotten hit by the 38% line right here, you can see how it retraced down 30%, so that means that one's done. But let's just, for this sake of this example, let's say it didn't come down and hit the 38% line right there. So we'll go back and put the Fibonacci extension level back on it from that movement right there. Okay, we're ignoring the fact that it hit the 38%. We'll say it didn't hit that right down there, the retracement to it. Price kept on just going up. When price hits the 3.618 level pair, that is when I look to get in first. Now if it goes higher and I'm still not in, that's even better. I get in a better price. But that's the earliest I look to get in, 3.618. So then once you get in there to short it, then you just keep on drawing up your Fibonacci retracement level, and your target is the 38% line. So that's how that works right there. But if price continues to move up and hits the 6.85 level, then you move the target to the 50% line right there, and just keep on drawing up there with it. So that's how that one works. Pretty similar to how it works on the Andrew Pitchfork trade. Is the earliest I get in is when price hits the 6.85, and then the next entry could be 11.82, but really the next entry just depends on how far it goes against me. So say, like, see right there is where it hit, which was about at $74.29. Exit, if I was taking this trade, would be in here 75.05, but then price kept on moving down, so you kept on moving it lower. So then when price did 11.89, I moved the exit to the 75.05 level, which would be right there for it. Yeah, right there. And just keep on going until it goes lower. The only time I would add on to it is if my entry level, if the target, let me keep on doing this, if the price kept on moving lower and lower and lower, and say right about there, that'd be pretty much where I'd get in my next one, which wouldn't be all the way down here to about $70, just to even that out to where I'd have some profit when price eventually came back up to it. But anyways, that's basically how it works. Those are the trades for the day. Have a good one. Thanks. Bye.